actually have a question. It's about time I got a question. Been long enough. But all right, so here's my question. And the question led me to talk about this topic that I'm about to talk about when and when not to date single mothers. So here's the question. Hey, John, hope all is well. Enjoy the videos. By the way, this is from Chris. He messaged me on Instagram. Anyway, I wanted to get your thoughts on the topic. I'm divorced a couple of years now. I'm mid-30s. I did the whole dating app thing for a while. Met this girl. She's 29, divorced, 2 kids. Okay. Girl, 8 and 12. All right. We had a good connection, but haven't been able to build anything because our divorce wasn't pretty. She has an okay job, makes about $40K a year. I have no kids and do a lot better. I make about $100,000 plus a year. Now I know that I don't get to see her much because of single mom obligations, soccer and such and all that crap. Wanted to get your thoughts on dating a single mom. Sometimes I don't hear from her for weeks or months. Then boom, a message to meet up for dinner and drinks, which goes well, but then a long lag, and she does it again. Anyway, I read and hear things about how it's simping to date a single mom, especially when you're bringing the resources to the table, but wanted to hear your thoughts. If you have a chance to work it into a video, thanks, man. Okay, Chris. So basically, here's the deal, okay? Whether she's a single mom or not, she sounds like she likes hanging out with you, but not like hanging out with you enough to like, have a long relationship. It sounds like she calls you when she's bored or when she's free, and you take her out. She enjoys your company. You have a couple of drinks. You have dinner, and then that's it. You don't hear from her anymore. She's using you. Whether she had kids or not. I mean, all right. Even if she has kids, right? And if she really liked you, she'd be texting you and she'd be calling you and she'd be trying to make plans for when she's free again, or she'd try to find a babysitter, things like that. You know when she likes you. The one thing you got to remember, Chris, is that if you're a single guy and then you're in mid-30s and you're a good-looking guy and you're in good shape, and you're making that much money and you don't have kids, you got to realize that, you're the prize now. You got to be confident enough and realize that when somebody's taking advantage of you and when she's not, you get to choose who you want to date in a position like that. I know it sucks because, your friends are like married or engaged or having kids and you're alone, but you got to remember that in a position like that you're in, you have the upper hand. You get to choose. This girl's not giving you the time of day, or she does from time to time. You just move on. Don't worry about it. There's plenty of other girls out there, man. You got to realize you're bringing everything to the table. Excuse me. You're bringing everything to the table, right? Stability, man in her life, responsible. Obviously, if you're making that kind of money and you have a career, you're responsible. You could devote plenty of time. She can't. You have your selection of women. She probably doesn't, because a lot of guys don't want to get involved with a single mother that's like newly divorced with 2 kids. It's not easy. If they do want to hang out with her, they probably just want to hit it and quit it. You know what I mean? So my advice to you is move on, find somebody who actually realizes that you have worth and wants to hang out with you and not just uses you for a hangout and get away from the kids once a month, once every other month, whatever the case may be. So that's my advice, Chris. Anyway, on to the next topic. So basically, that brought me up to topic. I actually took notes because I was writing this down. So when I'm going to break this down. I'm going to give you the 3 times you should only date a single mother. There are only 3 situations where it's okay to date a single mother. And by the way, this is my YouTube channel. I make the rules. Fuck you if you don't like it. I don't know what to tell you. So there's only 3 times it's acceptable to get into a serious relationship with a single mother. Then I'm going to give you the red flags to look out for. And then I'm going to give you the problems with actually dating a single mom. Okay. Now I'm actually talking about getting into a serious relationship with a single mom. I'm not talking about just you want to hit it and quit it, And a lot of times if a woman is freshly divorced or separated, she's not ready to get into a relationship. She hasn't healed. She's still going through that divorce. It's a mess. Now, if you're just looking to hit it and quit it,
hey, everybody, we're all going to get laid.
then it doesn't matter, right? I mean, then it just doesn't matter. But, okay, let's start off. The first situation where it's okay to date or get into a serious relationship with a single mom is if she's a widow. But if she's a widow and she's had plenty of time to mourn, if she is a widow and she has plenty of time to mourn and she's healed and you could tell that she has good character, I don't see a problem with that, because the kids will respect you if they come from a good upbringing, and if the mother realizes that you are filling this major void for her and them, I have no problem with that. I think that is actually great if a guy does that. I think it's good. I think it's fantastic, as long as you're able to be responsible and be able to discipline the kids when they act out, right? We'll get to that. Okay. The second situation, which is cool, dating a single mother. And I know this because this is what my brother went through. If both the guy and the girl are basically from the same generation, and they both have kids, okay? Because if they both have kids, neither one of them could be selfish, and neither one of them can take advantage of one another. They both have to understand that time is limited, and they both do understand because they know what each other is going through, right? So that I could see it working, and I think that could, even though it's obviously, nothing is going to go smooth, but I could see that working, because in those situations, I don't see the woman really taking advantage, because she understands that you need your time and she needs her time, and the kids, and so on and so forth, and blah, blah. Especially if the kids are the same age. I mean, my brother did that. My brother got divorced, and he met his second wife, who was also separated. She was separated for like, I think 10 or 12 years before she met my brother too. So she was like way over her ex. And they actually had kids with the same age, and they got along, and they went to school together. And one guy was another guy's best man at his wedding. And now they're big, and they really enjoy each other's life. My brother's on vacation I called him last week. He was in Pennsylvania, New Hope, Pennsylvania. I said, what the hell are you doing there? He goes, my wife wanted to come here for the weekend. All right. So they enjoy each other's life now. Anyway, the third reason and final reason that it's okay, or the third situation rather, is when you're old. Like if you're in my age, if you're 44, you're in your 40s, you're in your 50s, and the kids are big already, they're like in college, out of the house, they got jobs, then it doesn't matter, right? They're not gonna be a problem. Raising the kids isn't a problem. It's not an issue, right? So those are the three situations where I don't see a problem. All right. Now, if you decide that you do want to date a single mother, if you have the opportunity to date a single mother, I'm going to give you some of the red flags to look out for. Okay. So my first red flag is if she has multiple kids with multiple fathers. If I have to explain this one, then you should fucking marry that girl. Like seriously. I mean, obviously she's a hot mess. Obviously she doesn't have her shit together. So just keep it moving. Second one. Oh, this actually happened to me. If you meet the kids right away, like on the first date or the second date, and you meet the kids right away. Oh my God. That's like ridiculous. How many boyfriends did you meet already? I mean, it's only the first date or the second date, right? That means how can I explain this? That means her looking out for the kid, and what the kid thinks of her, seeing her date all these men, doesn't matter to her. So she doesn't have much character, right? The morals aren't there. So I would, gone. That's number 2. Number 3. Oh, this is a good one. if she never has a problem finding free time, if she's able to get away every weekend and she's got kids and she's got grandma watching her, aunt so-and-so watching her, my sister's watching them, that kind of thing. Oh no, that's a no-no. That's a no-no. That means you're just the mother. That means those kids are just the vagine that the kids wrote in on. That's what that means. Let's see. Oh, she has a victim mentality, right? If she has a victim mentality, my husband did this and my husband did that, and I don't have any money, and what am I supposed to do? And my husband, I heard this before. My husband made me stay home with the kids, and I wanted to go to work. Yeah, I'm sure that's what happened. The victim mentality, because it's only a matter of time before she uses the victim mentality on you. So that's a no-no. And let's see. Those are the red flags. Those are big red flags. I remember I went on a date with a single mom, and the girl lived with her mother. I was young, in my early 30s, and I should have known better. And as soon as I opened the door, the kid came to the door, and I was like, well, I was a little shocked even back then, but I didn't even think about it. But if I thought about it, if I knew what I knew now, oh, I would have gotten in the car and left. But all right. So there are major problems that you're going to confront, that you're going to have to deal with if you get into a long-term relationship with a single mom. Okay. The first and the most obvious is you're not going to come first. That's not going to happen. Okay. But if you are a single guy with no kids, you're not going to come first. And that's something you're going to have to get used to, which is why if you're single with no kids, I really stress not to date a girl with kids, because I mean, you're going to come third or fourth. I mean, she's going to have to take the girls to cheerleading. She's going to have to take them to soccer. She's going to have to take the boys to, karate. She's going to, get involved in their schoolwork and be a good mom. You're going to come second, at best, and that's not fair to you unless you decide that you're fine with it. Whatever. Another problem that you're going to have is going through the divorce with her. If she is still going through the divorce and there's a custody battle, oh my God, what a fucking headache that is. I don't know why you would want to put yourself in that position, but I mean, I don't think the pussy's that good, right? But what do I know? Anyway. And that also leads to, when the custody battle is ended, 90 something percent of the time, the kids end up with the mother most of the time. So the father usually has like one night a week and every other weekend. The rest of the week is with her mother, the mother. So you get to see her every other weekend if you're lucky, right? So these are real issues. And if you are a guy that wants to go into a relationship with a woman who has kids, these are the things you're gonna have to deal with. That's why I say, like, if you have your own kids, then you'll understand better, and she'll have no choice but to understand as well. Anyway, I'll move on. Okay. Becoming a beta provider, right? You know what a beta is? A beta is a guy who's got no backbone, and he's a yes man, and so on and so forth. A beta provider is somebody who she's using you. You're weak. She could see it. And oh God, this fucking sweat is killing me. You're weak. She could see it, and you feel like it's your responsibility to dish out your money and take care of the kids, even though they really don't need to be taken care of. Right? So what I mean by that is, she probably has some kind of a job, even though if it's not a good job. She's probably getting alimony and child support. And then she's got you as well. That's a rough one. You don't want to be the guy that just pays the money and has the responsibility, but you don't get anything out of it. You see, if the father is still around and you're in that position, odds are you're not going to walk that little girl down the aisle when she gets married, right? Odds are you're not going to be lighting any candles during the Sweet 16. For you people that aren't Italian, the girls have Sweet 16 parties. They have 16 candles, or 17, right? Something like that. And every important member of the family or friend lights a candle, whatever. Um, she's going to still be running to daddy, right? And the other thing that could happen is you're not going to be able to discipline them. So what I mean by that is when you are a beta provider, mom is okay with you dishing out the money and buying them clothes and buying them gifts and taking them on vacation, but she's not okay with you straightening them out when they're acting a fool. Then it becomes my kids. Don't you dare discipline my kids. Don't talk to my kids that way. Right? And that's rough. That's hard to deal with. You really gotta take a back seat. Not many guys who can do that. That's a rough one. You truly are a beta provider if you do that. Anyway. The last one is this one was the toughest for me because I did date a girl with kids for a little while. Falling in love with the kids. I mean, I dated a girl with a 2-year-old son, and I was in love with this kid. He was absolutely adorable. And we used to play fight, and I used to buy him toys. And it became harder when she started disrespecting me and started taking advantage of me. It became harder to break up with her because I really loved that little kid. And we're going back a long time, right? I'm 44 now. I was in my early 30s when this happened. Like, was it 30, 31 or something like that? I don't remember. But that's a problem, Look, women will say two things when they have kids and they're dating somebody who's single. Rather, dating somebody who's single without kids, rather. They'll say, I don't need a man to take care of my kids. Well, that statement is irrelevant. And here's why the statement is irrelevant. Any man who's worth anything is going to take care of your kids, whether they're his or not. That's just the gist of it. Okay. That's the way it is. All right. He's not going to sit there on a Saturday night while you guys pick a movie and order food and go, no, I'm not paying for your kids. You said you don't need anybody to take care of your kids. I'm only paying for my food and your food. Those kids are on their own. That's it. Christmas time isn't going to come around and he's not going to go, I ain't buying your kids gifts. Forget it. You said you don't need anybody to take care of your kids. Whatever. School days come, school close. Oh, don't look at me. You said you don't need any. It's not going to happen. He's going to voluntarily just do it because he's going to grow attached to those kids. He's going to love those kids. The other thing that they say it's irrelevant is he already has a father. He doesn't need another one. Well, again, irrelevant. Okay. The kid's at baseball practice and you can't pick him up. The mom can't pick him up. And she says, can you pick up my son from baseball practice? What are you going to say? I thought you said he didn't have a father. He already had a father. He doesn't need another father. Ask the father to go pick him up. No, you're not going to do that. You're going to go pick up the kid. You're going to take him to school. You're going to pick him up when he gets in trouble at school. You're going to fucking sneak him into the house when he's drunk, going out with his friends, with him and her, whatever. You're going to do those things. Those statements, he doesn't need another father, he's got one, and I don't need a man to take care of my kids. Two irrelevant statements. Don't let girls tell you those things, and they are serious about them. They are completely irrelevant. All right. There is some truth to the fact that a man who takes over a woman's family or helps out with a single mom is a cuck. Well, obviously, that's where the beta provider comes in. I think there are situations where it works. Like I said, those three situations I named before, I think it works. I saw my brother, it works with him. Okay? It works with him. Well, it worked with him. The kids are big now. They're like married out of the house. But here's a fun fact. The word cuck comes from the bird cuckoo, the cuckoo bird. I'm pretty sure the cuckoo bird is no longer with us, right? It's extinct. But what the cuckoo bird would do is she would lay eggs in other breeds of birds' nests. And those birds would actually raise those birds as their own. So that's where it comes from. Being a cuckold comes from that terminology. So because what you're doing is you are raising somebody else's children. You are giving your resources, your attention, your money, your time to somebody else's kids. You have to remember that in the very masculine way the world can be or was, or in some parts of the world still is, the reason why you want a boy is to carry on the name and to carry your DNA, to keep the family name going, to keep the bloodline pure, to keep it going. We see it in royalty, even till today, right? In England and whatnot. But we saw plenty in the Middle Ages, so on and so forth. We see it in plenty of Middle Eastern countries, Asian countries, royalty, so on and so forth. And that is a very masculine philosophy. You don't want to raise somebody else's kids that aren't yours. You don't want to waste your resources on somebody else's kids that might not respect you. It's only 50-50 shot that they're going to respect you, right? Especially if you can't discipline them. Look, it's a sensitive topic, and it isn't an easy topic to talk about. I truly believe that those three situations is the only times to get into a serious relationship with somebody who has kids. And it was if she's a widow, if both of you have kids and it's from the same generation, and the kids are old enough that it's not a problem anymore. They're already out of the house. Listen, that is my advice. You guys do what you want, you know. You know, it's hard for me to say don't do it because my brother's stepson is a good kid. You know, I call him my nephew, even though he's not blood related. He's my nephew. He's a good boy, and he respects my brother, and he loves his mother. And you know, he's got a good career. He's on his own. He's got a girlfriend. He's probably going to get engaged soon. I mean, I've seen terrible things happen, but I've seen good things happen. So look, it's like anything else. You gotta test the girl's character. If she has good intentions and you're a good judge of character, go ahead. I gave you the red flags, right? Just look for those red flags. I don't know. It's a tough one. It really is. It really is a tough one. I don't know. But you know, you can't go by these movies. The movies, stepfather is like, the greatest thing in the world or whatever. But in real life, that I've seen stepfathers get shitted on. I've seen stepfathers get, kicked to the curb. I've seen stepfathers where kids don't respect them. I've seen stepfathers that get take advantage of their money and so on and so forth. I mean, But all right, well, that's it for me. I hope this was informative, and I'll be getting back. I'll be getting back to you guys soon. I'll definitely have another video up and running pretty soon, right? And but hold on one second. I want to tell you one more thing.